I'm Grace Torie, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl, Grace Torie, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. I definitely just woke up from a nap, so that's why I sound a little sleepy. And if you hear anything in the background, it is currently storming, so you probably just heard that thunder possibly. And the rain stopped in this very moment, but the thunder hasn't stopped, and it's supposed to pick right back up, so we're just gonna roll with it. It's probably gonna be a chill, relaxing video. Maybe this will make it calmer, more of a vibe, and add to the episode instead of taking away from it. That's what we're hoping for. So yeah, hopefully you still enjoyed the episode. I'm really excited. In today's episode, we're going to be doing a quick Eras Tour recap. It's probably going to be a little long of a life update, so that's why I'm going to add it in as more of a part of the episode. And then I think I'm just going to be talking about what to do when you feel like you've outgrown something or you're no longer in alignment with it, or however you want to phrase it. I'll get into exactly what I mean after I talk about Eras Tour, but that's what we're doing. I have no idea how long this episode's going to be. No outline, very chill, very calm. I'm still recovering from Eras Tour, but yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into our life update. Went out to the barn today. I'm a dummy and couldn't find anything to catch Moondance with. I usually bring peppermints. I didn't bring anything, and she was getting kind of rowdy, and I was afraid I was going to get kicked because I don't know her new friends as well. She moved pastures, and I don't know the horses she's with, so I don't know how tolerant they are or anything like that. So I didn't get to ride, but it was nicest to go out there. Josh and I went out there, and we just I don't know, took our time, had conversations, hung out with each other. So that was always really nice. And then moving on to the more obviously important part, Eras Tour. I went to the Eras Tour on Friday night in Cincinnati. I had a lot of fun. I did give out some bracelets that had the QR code for the podcast as well as for Casper Collective. So if you were here because you got that QR code and used it, thank you so much. I hope you had the best time at the concert, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Stay a while. We have a good time over here. We just hang out and we work on achieving our goals. Whatever that means to you, your goal can be different from mine. But we all support each other, love it, have the best community, and work towards it. So that's pretty much what we're about over here. In terms of the Eras Tour, it was super, super, super fun. We got there around 4, I'd say, 3:45, 4 o'clock. Originally, I wanted to get there at 1, but it's okay. We ended up still having the best time. I wanted to tailgate, but by the time I got there and saw how long the lines were and how many people were there, I got a little anxious, and also I thought if we do go and tailgate, I'm not going to be able to get any merch, which was probably a good decision because the lines were astronomically long for the merch truck, and then the indoor opened at 4:30. So yeah, we ended up going straight inside because it opened at 4:30, so we tried to, by the time we got across the bridge, because we had them drop us off at the Kentucky side, and then we just walked over the pedestrian bridge to the Cincinnati side, and by the time that we got over to the stadium and everyone was trying to get in, it took us 30 minutes to get through that. But I didn't realize until we got there that we had club tickets, so we got to go in the club entrance, and we were in the air conditioning until the show started. We had a 20-minute wait in merch, which was definitely not bad. People were waiting hours at a time, and yeah, I just waited in line for 20 minutes. They were out of the blue crew neck, so ouch, that hurt a little bit. But I did end up getting the beige hoodie, which is super cute. I really like it. It seems to be a really good quality, so I'm really excited. I haven't worn it yet because of the weather, and I ended up not really doing anything. I don't want to wear it just to lay around yet. I'm not I still am treating it like it's lined in gold because it was a little more on the expensive side. So yeah, I did that. Traded bracelets, I did a little goodie bag for everyone that had, like I mentioned, the 2 QR codes for Casper Collective and the podcast, and then I made bracelets, and then I also made paper rings, and I only made 20 of them because your girl is busy, but I handed all those out, traded them in for, obviously, like, I think I got like 16 bracelets, which is fine. I gave like 4 to my mom, and I was like content with that. That was a vibe. I originally wanted to do more than 20 bracelets because everyone was doing like so many, and it was making me feel like I wasn't doing that much. But like, looking at how many bracelets I had on my arm, I feel like if I would have traded more, I don't know where I would have put all of them. So I'm glad that I only did that many. Obviously, I wish I would have talked to more people and traded more, but it was good. I did get a mirror ball cup, and then addition to the mirror ball cup, I obviously got the hoodie. And I ended up getting a Cincinnati VIP box, even though I wasn't VIP. Someone was selling it on Facebook for like a pretty reasonable price. So I met up with her and got it. So I have the posters I'm going to hang. And yeah, I ended up sitting in section 247, which is like still on the side, but it's the very last section on the side. So I could see her very well, see pretty much everything that's going on. It's right above lower bowl, but we were the second row, so I think we had really, really good seats. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but I really enjoyed where we were sitting, had a good time. One thing I will say, these are the tips I'll have if you are still going to Eras Tour. Make sure you start hydrating like a week before, because people were passing out left and right. It was extremely hot, especially when you're up on the upper levels, because you're like, there's nothing really shading you. You're closer to what's going on in the sun. Like, there's a lot, and you just need to make sure you're staying hydrated before and throughout the show. Personally, I wouldn't drink alcohol. I don't know. For me, I spent a lot of money, so I feel like it's not the time. Like, you're not really going to remember as much. I don't know. And also, it's going to make you more dehydrated. That's the more important reason. If you want to stay hydrated, maybe stay away from the alcoholic beverages. Only drink one, potentially. But they're also very expensive in the stadium, so maybe just avoid that altogether. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I will tell you I didn't drink and it was great. One thing I forgot and I wish I would have gotten, I was kind of kicking myself, is sunglasses. The sun was, we were facing it so we could see it from where we were, and it was so bright. Like, I had my hand over my eyes watching until it went below the horizon, or whatever you want to call it, behind the stage, like, essentially. And it was a lot. I would only say that maybe 30 minutes of the show, the sun was like in our face. It was mainly for the openers that we couldn't really see anything, but I just wish I would have gotten sunglasses just for that part. Also bring a phone charger. Definitely do that. I think that was it for things that like were essential. Definitely bring a poncho in case if there's any chance of it raining, but my mom used hers to fan herself because they're thick enough that you can fan yourself. So it was like game changing. But overall, it was a life-changing experience. Like, it's not just like any concert. I'm going to cherish it forever. And it was like amazing to see someone I have watched since I was 7 years old perform, and not only perform, but perform the songs that I have listened to and have gotten me through every single moment in my life, good or bad. Like, she played them. Obviously, she didn't play every single one. There were some she left out, but it was good to see. I was a little bummed that this is kind of first world problems, and the surprise song she played on night 2, I liked better. Mainly Call It What You Want. Call It What You Want is one of my favorites by her on the Reputation album. However, they didn't get the openers because it was going to storm, so she moved her show up an hour. So honestly, I'm not mad at night 1. I still liked the songs we got. We got I'm Only Me When I'm With You and Evermore. So not mad. I got to see the openers, and it was really great. We walked right across the bridge after. Josh picked us up. Overall, really good night. We didn't have any hiccups or any bad things happen that would ruin the day, or, you know. I was going to tailgate for Saturday. I was going to come back up go back up to Cincinnati and tailgate. But I kid you not, guys, I got back at 2 because we had to drop my mom off at her hotel, and then we just drove back home because we live closer than she does. And I was in bed by 2. I didn't have to work on Saturday, but when I say I slept until 5 the next day, like, I woke up at probably 4:30 p.m. and I was shook. Every muscle in my body was sore. Wow, yeah, it was insane how physically intense it was. I just cannot imagine bringing like a kid with me. And I have friends who brought kids, and they said it was so great, but I was having a hard time after 3.5 hours like walking to the car, so I can only imagine how much a child feels, like how they feel if they don't appreciate at all 3.5 hours, like say they only really like one album or something. I just can't imagine getting them through it, because it was tough. It was tough. It was crazy because I know she doesn't do an encore because it's 3.5 hours, but literally she was like, bye guys, went down under stage, whatever, did her thing, and no one like clapped for an encore. Like, we clapped for a second, don't get me wrong, but everyone was just like, yep, okay, we're done, let's go home. Like, everyone was ready to leave, essentially. Like, we were just like tired and love Taylor, like the most amazing thing. I will cherish it forever. I'm so grateful that Josh got me tickets, and I will be thanking him for the rest of my life. But at the same time, that was intense. That was so intense. I mean, the amount of sweat, the amount of tears. I think I cried twice because the songs were very emotional and meant a lot to me. So good tears, but it was just very much a lot. An emotional roller coaster, a physical roller coaster. And here we are 2 days later, and my muscles are still sore. So yeah, I almost want to say that Eras Tour was like a revival of my motivation. It was just, I needed it. And I think one thing that was really important for me to see was Taylor, because obviously it was important for me to see Taylor. She's the whole point I went. But seeing how passionate and how driven and how happy she was to be on stage. I mean, I said it when I saw her on Rep Tour, but I'll say it again. It's just so inspiring to see someone doing what they are meant to be, like what their purpose is and what their passion is. And just watching them watching her was so inspiring, and it makes me want to find what I'm passionate about. So that's kind of my transition into what I'm talking about today. I just feel like whether you're religious or not, I think that your intuition tells you when you are in alignment with what you are meant to be doing with your life. And if you are in alignment in general, like if you are where you're meant to be, and if you are dating who you're meant to be dating, and if you are friends with who you're meant to be friends with, and if you're living where you're meant to be living. And I think that when you either grow out of it or you kind of fall out of alignment with it, you can tell, like you can feel it, and nothing really seems to feel right anymore. Something feels like it's missing. You just feel out of alignment, like it feels like something's not working. So that's how I've been feeling for a really, really, really long time, and I'm not quite sure what I've become unaligned with, like where I need to make changes. I just know that I am unaligned and it's time to move on. So that's where I'm at. One thing about these kinds of things is you can't fight them. You can definitely fight it and say, no, I don't want change. Like, I'm going to stay right where I'm at. But you're going to feel that way until you make the change. And that is one thing I have learned. So that's why I'm working towards that. So I think that there's going to be some really, really, really big changes coming within probably the next month to get me back on track with where I want to be and where I'm meant to be. I don't know what those changes are yet, and that's where this episode kind of comes in. So what I'm going to be doing to kind of call the things that I'm meant to be doing into my life, manifest them, pray for them, whatever you believe, you can do this, is I'm just going to be meditating, I'm going to be praying, I'm going to be just clearing up space in my life for more things. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like going out and like breaking up with Josh. Obviously not. Josh and I are in it for the long haul. Don't even question if like he's a part of this, because like we're here for the resty, you know, we're in this together. But I want to use him as an example of like a very big thing in my life. I'm not obviously going to be like, bye, sayonara, like, you know, I need to make space. I don't know what that thing is when I'm making space. No, just like little things like hobbies and things like that. I don't remember I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago when I said I was taking a break and just making space and finding a strategy and planning, and that's what I would be doing. And this is very much more of that. I don't think I need a plan. I think this is more of I need to figure out what I'm doing, and I can't do that if my brain is going a million miles a minute. So I'm going to be taking time to figure out what my game plan is and what's going to make me happy and what I want, because I think that I've been going a million miles a minute my whole life, and I've worked so hard to achieve something just so that I don't know, just for the achievement without really knowing where I'm going. I never really stopped to think, what do I want? Like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? And now that I have, kinda, I don't know. Like, I thought it would be a quick thing. Like, I would just sit down and draw or write down a list of things, and then I'd be like, yep, that's the thing that I'm meant to do my whole life. And that's not how it worked. So I'm going to be taking a lot of time to just ask God, or if you believe in the universe, or my angels for guidance. And I'm going to be sitting in the silence long enough to listen to what they have to say, and hopefully, you know, gain something from that. Hopefully get some answers and move forward from there. But I want you to know that if you are feeling this way, it's very normal. You're not alone, and we're going through it together. We are just, I don't know, we're doing our best here. We're on this floating rock, all trying to figure it out, and I think that it's normal. Don't feel alone. If you need someone to rant about it with, please message me, because the people I have to rant about it with don't necessarily get it. And that's one thing that I've always struggled with, is everyone in my life has known their purpose from a very young age, and that's not me. I still don't know. Obviously, I've talked about it before. I want to inspire you guys to be the best version of yourselves, and I want to inspire people to be the best version of themselves, and that's what I think I'm gonna land in. But it's not something where I know exactly what career path I want to go down and everything just lined up for me. I got my degree in it, and then I graduated and immediately started working in it, and things have been beautiful and wonderful ever since. I think that it's harder than that. However, things happen, and I think that if I step back and let things do their own thing, something's just going to fall into my lap, because that's how it always works. So that's where we're at. Life is fun. Life is very fun. But I am going to say, I don't know. I love you guys so much. I think that this is going to be a shorter episode, because it was just catching up on the Eras tour, and then I kind of wanted to talk about transitioning to doing what you're meant to be doing a little bit, but neither of them were very long topics, so I apologize that this episode isn't that long, but I also don't, because I told you guys I was going to do what's authentic and what makes the most sense to me, and this is that. So I love you so much. You have my whole heart. I upload every single Wednesday and Sunday. If you're listening to this on a Sunday, I hope you have the best night. If you're listening to this on any other day, I hope you have the best morning, afternoon, or night. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at thatgirlthepod. Don't forget to follow on whatever platform you're on. If you take a couple of seconds to leave a rating or review, it honestly would mean the entire world to me, and I would really appreciate it. But other than that, I love you so much, and I will see you in my next podcast episode. Bye, guys.